Guys, we need to talk about The Housemaid. Hi, I'm Rob. I'm a massive lover of movies, TVs, film shows, and of course, physical media. And last night, I finally, after weeks of putting it off, I watched The Housemaid. Now, this is quite a fairly new release, and from my understanding, has just been released onto Amazon Prime. But I managed to pick up a 4K copy in my local CEX store very recently, and I took the time on a Sunday to give it a watch. Now, spoiler alert, I may say some things in this review that may give away the plot. I'll do my hardest not to, but if you haven't seen the film, then perhaps it's a good idea to stop the video for now. But drop me a follow before you do go anywhere. I'm trying to hit 1,500 followers by the end of July. I finally sat down and gave it a watch last night, and I absolutely loved it, actually. I entered sort of the viewing, I guess, or watching the film with no connotations, no expectations to some degree. I'd heard good things, I'd seen some little snippets and thought it was going to be good. But I think what I enjoyed about the film is that I hadn't seen or heard anything to do with the plot line, the storyline, or the characters. So if you have seen the film, you will know that there are so many twists, turns, and narratives that run throughout the story, throughout the film, that just keep you guessing and keep you on your toes. And it was one of those films where I didn't want to scroll, I didn't want to step away from the screen for even a second, and I was so heavily invested in it. And in fact, there was one part of the movie where I was on the edge of my seat. My heart was racing and I was there on the edge of my seat. I think all of the cast did a great job. I think every story, sort of narrative, every piece of writing throughout the film worked really well and played into a bigger picture. I think there was really great stages throughout where you are kept on your toes, you're having to guess, re-guess, rethink what's going to happen. If you would have told me what happens at the end of the movie during the first 5-10 minutes, I wouldn't have believed you, or I would have wondered how we would have got to that situation. And all in all, I rate it really highly as a film. We start off thinking that the narrative is going to go one way, and Amanda Seyfried, however you say her name, does a really good job with her character of Nina and sort of portraying her as this absolute, dare I say, lunatic. You start off again seeing Sydney Sweeney playing a character whom, to some degree, you think of as quite an innocent victim to some degree, and you start to feel sorry for her. And then of course you're sort of faced with the husband, who for some reason I forget his name, Brandon something or another, right? Again, you kind of feel this empathy towards him for this guy who is clearly in a very awkward situation, and he's very patient and very supportive and very kind. And throughout, the narrative just changes, storyline changes, things happen, and boom, you go, wow. And for me, that's what a movie is all about, that guessing, that storyline, that narrative, that character development, that character progression. And all in all, it was a fantastic film. The pace worked really well, it moved fast, it worked swiftly. And in hindsight, another thing that I love, and it's ideal for a rewatch, I think, when you sort of look back on the earlier narratives and sort of the earlier conversations and some of the things that is put into the writing, you go, that's what that's about. That's what adds in there. That's what that was going on about. There are clues throughout that when you then think back, you go, I should have known. That makes perfect sense. So I do highly recommend you go and watch The Housemaid. It's fantastic. You can watch it on Amazon Prime now, I believe, but of course, physical media rules the way, guys and girls. Great film. It has just been logged onto my Letterboxd. My Letterboxd account is Animal Spence. I'd love it if you can give me a follow over there as well. What did you think? Have you seen it yet? Is it worth a watch? Did you enjoy it? Was it as good as I think it was? All in all, I genuinely think it's a solid 4 out of 5. Easy. Let me know what you think.